Welcome everybody. Welcome in to today's cast. Season 7, round 6, and we are around the streets of Jeddah. Should be hopefully an entertaining one. But one driver who we don't seem to be, I don't seem to be online at the moment, Adam, who is currently our driver champion. Well, holding our driver champion. How's it going, Zach? So a good chance today for the likes of HDL Trappy, LFC, Raven, Solo to get themselves a little bit closer to that top spot. If Adam doesn't make it, we are just waiting on Raven to appear, but the boys have been told it's a green flag. Still waiting everybody to ready up though. I hope everyone's had a good week. I'm good, Zach. I am good. How has Siege been treating you? And how are you feeling for today's race? Excuse you, Stu. Excuse you. Can we help? Welcome in, Saviour. Welcome in, mate. Good to have you back on track. I won the sprint. Yeah, but that hasn't put you anywhere near. I don't think, Stu. Let's take a look, shall we? Yep, see, Stu, you're in P9, my friend. Whereas Adam HDL, Solo, LFC are all at the top. In fact, Lordy is up there as well. But it gives a chance for them to all pull closer. I mean, let's see, Stu. Let's see if you can do something in the main feature today and get those good points. It is a win. It is a win. I will give you that. It is a win. But it is in the sprint event, so not maximum points on offer. But you should race more then, shouldn't you? You should race more and help out your constructors teammate. Speaking of which, let's flash up the constructors as well whilst we are waiting for everybody to ready up. There we go. There we go. We are going in then. Eventually, but Alpine still leading by a fairly decent margin. But Stu, you are right. Mercedes could make a bit of a push today if they're on it. Williams on 63 points, McLaren on 53 points, Aston Martin on 49, Alfa Romeo 47, Ferrari 46. So it is still pretty close in the midfield, really, from McLaren down to Ferrari. Alpha Tauri 36 points, Haas 24. Red Bull still yet to score a point this season, but Haas and Red Bull Racing have picked up two brand new drivers. Well, I say brand new drivers this season in Sean and Grit Lucid. Sean in the Red Bull, Grit Lucid in the Haas. So more points should hopefully be coming Red Bull and Haas's way. Again, two drivers who have the potential to finish at the top of a grid. You know who to blame. I do know who to blame. I do know who to blame. As we wait here now for qualifying to start, and that timer has now started. Let's see who will be the first of our drivers out on that track. I'm going to double check something actually before we do get that started. Make sure we've got all the settings right on here. Do that. I did go through and double check them. I think it should be good. Yeah, cool. And our first car is now leaving the garage. It's looking like a Williams. The Williams of likely Metal Saviour. He's usually one of our first cars out, and yes, it is Metal Saviour in Jeddah, a track that he does enjoy, but he nearly put it straight into the pit wall, and he somehow invalidates his outlap before it even starts. So well done, Metal Saviour. Great effort. Great effort. Good thing it's not an important lap. We've also got Torrio in the Ferrari, who has now left the pit lane as well. Ferrari with both drivers back. Torrio served his 2-week race ban, hoping to put Ferrari back on the map. Lordy has done pretty well in the last couple of rounds. He got a win in Monaco. Scored some points in Canada. There weren't massive points, but scored some points in Canada, I believe, and also in Great Britain as well. So keeping Ferrari on the up. Hopefully Torrio can assist with that. Raven also just leaving. Again, a great chance for him to catch up to the top of the table, as well as LFC. And we'll put Stewart in that bracket as well as come out on the intermediates to get a feel of the track before he goes on to a proper soft run. Kai out as well. A couple of weeks off for Kai. He has now returned again to a very tricky circuit out there in the AlphaTauri. So a lot of our drivers now out on track. Lordy and Solo also out on the track. Let's jump on board with Metal Saviour, who is about to start his lap, and hopefully it will go green. Yes, it will. There we go. Let's see how Saviour can do here as he goes into turn 1. Keeps it nice and tidy, leaving a lot of that leaving a lot of space there to the curve, so maybe not carrying optimum speed through there. But oh, that could be an invalidation. No, he managed to keep it. He managed to keep that on the track there. So let's flick onto Torrio and see how his sector 1 is going. That was very wide there from Torrio, so just managed to keep his front right tyre on the track, I think. And let's have a very quick look at his teammate, Lordy, in the Ferrari, who's just behind Torrio. Not close enough for a tow, but the two Ferraris have decided to come out on track at the same time, and Lordy actually out on the medium. So again, having a look at getting a tester for that track, and he sets a purple sector 3, sector 1, and you get a yellow flag in sector 3. Well, I believe it's the Aston Martin of LFC, but I could be wrong. Let's jump back with Saviour then, who should be approaching his last stint of the lap. Coming around that final corner, then corner 27, get the foot down. 27 corners here in Jeddah, the most corners we've had in recent weeks. And across that line for 1-3-2. Let's see how Torrio fares up for that. Our second driver across the line puts in a 1-2-9, so a very large improvement there. What can Lordy do on the medium tyre, remember? Not on the soft tyre. Let's see where he can stick the car. Was it P2? So about, well, 7/10 away from his teammate. I think that's easily achievable once he's got a few laps in on the mediums. Again, he may not have even been using his ERS there. But Raven puts in a 1:27. No messing around. No warming up from Raven. Straight in there with a fairly decent benchmark to improve on later on in the session. Well, next across the line will be a pass of Ollie, who started his first flying lap. So it'll be Kai. And the AlphaTauri is currently holding the front of the row then, so or the front row, P1 and P2, as the Aston Martin LSC comes in just a little bit short there. LSC, was he running a soft tyre there? I think he was running a soft tyre there. Solo coming in with a 129.2. Solo and LSC, of course, had plenty of good battles throughout the opening few rounds of the season. We've got Ollie and Nico starting their hot laps now. Who's ahead? I think Ollie is ahead. Let's take a look on board with him. We've also got Bridges, who's just started that hot lap. So we'll stick on board with Ollie then for the time being. Rouge Nico, though, very close behind in the Alpine. Again, Adam's teammate, but Adam is not here at the moment. There's a yellow flag there just for a car going off the track and allowing room for the driver to come through. Sean comes out for his out lap midway through sector 1 at the moment. Keep an eye on Lordy though. I know Lordy has jumped into the pit, so just done the one run there on their medium tyres just to get a feel of the track, I suppose. And let's see what he can do on the softs when he does come out. As Ollie now about to finish his first hot lap. Sticking nice and tight to the left hand side there. Puts in a 132, beating Metal Saviour's current time. Let's see what Rouge Nico can do. Can he get around the 130, 129 mark? Apparently Yes, you can. 130. For some reason, that didn't update in my mind then. But yeah, 130, and then we've got Senor Bridges coming up next. He puts in a P2, having been away for a while. Picking it in P2 then. So I wonder if Sean will be able to do something similar a little bit later on when he puts his final lap together. So splitting the two avatars there is Bridges with a 127.8. So still Raven at the top of the tree for now. But Sean about to start his hot lap here in the Red Bull. His debut race this season, but not his debut race in the bunker, taking turn 1 and 2 very nicely indeed. And we'll stick on board here what could potentially be a pole or provisional pole lap. Let's see this one through. Stuart's still on his out lap. We'll try and jump on board him as he reaches the end of his lap. Stuart sat right on the racing line on my lap. Luckily I could see. Very naughty there, Stuart. Oh, Rod's being kicked. Have I just been kicked from the lobby? I'm guessing that I've just been kicked from the lobby. Let's see if we can get ourselves back in quickly, as we did have a nice hot lap there going round from Sean. We'll try and jump straight back online with Sean when we do get there. Apologies for this. Let's flash up our current round for a moment whilst we try and get back into this lobby. I've enjoyed the session. Let's restart our game very quickly then. Yep, Raven has pinged out an invoice. I think it must just be me that's dropped out there. So Sean, if you can hear me, slow down, step on the brake pedal, go for that lap on your second run. Just as we were getting into the swing of things, don't worry, we'll be back with the action very, very shortly. But Kai, you did manage to get in a very nice time there. P2 for a while. Until Senor got in the way and knocked you down one spot. So a good start, even if Stu was in the way for a moment. It's a very, very good start for you. Something to maybe sit on or something to improve on as we go through the rest of the qualifying session. Hopefully this will allow me in. So joining session now. Let's see what happens. Whilst we are here, the first Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia, or in Jeddah, was held in 2021, and the lap record from 2021 still does stand, the 130.73 from Lewis Hamilton. But still, I'm not able to join this session. I'm not sure what is going on here. The circuit length, 6.174 kilometers. In real life, it would be a 50 lap race. We're, of course, doing a 50% race today. So it's just 25 laps. And a lap record of 130.7 has already been smashed by a lot of our drivers, putting in 127s. Okay, we are really struggling to join this lobby right now. I might have to do a full Xbox restart just to see if we can get ourselves back in. Let's go for it. Let's do that. Let's give that a moment to boot back up. Apologies for viewers, but this is what happens with live entertainment. Okay, we've got another invite. Let's see if we can join this one, shall we? There we go. It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking much better. Let's get ourselves back involved, shall we? Let's see what's changed since we were last here. I'm hoping it doesn't put me into a car. I did press spectator again. So we should be good. There we go. Okay. So what's happening? Sean put it onto P3 in the end. Raven setting an outlap. We've got disqualification for Kai. Not sure what's happened there. Kai, if you can enlighten us. He was on a fantastic run there, and I'm hoping that my not being here there. So what have we got then? Raven P1 still holding P1. Bridge is still holding P2. We've got Sean in P3 on another outlap. HCL Trappy with a 128.5, leaving him in P4 for the moment. Lordy is over 128.5. LFC 128.5. So really the top 6 there, all very close, within around about a second of the leader. Collectively, Solo in P7 129.2, Torio for 129.3, Ollie and Nico in the 130s, and Xavier in 132. Stuart, Trix, and Clemo still yet to set a lap. Let's see who's on our hot lap here. Nico on our hot lap, about to finish here. No, he dives himself into the pit. Oh, very nearly takes out a time board as well. Want to keep out the way of Nico as well for blocking the pit lane. Ouch. Ouch. Did you move across to the left rather than moving across to the right then, I'm guessing, Kai? That's that is an ouchie. And Stuart's got a disqualification anyway. So you've been sorry, not disqualification. Track limits infringement, so it was all for nothing, Kai, who makes it feel any better. But redemption in the race, Kai. You've got the pace, you were up there, you were in P3, P4, you know, you've got the pace. Points will still be on the card for you. For the lead driver, let's be honest, the lead driver, Raven, getting some Alpha Tower points on the board. Let's see who is out on track. And LFC on a hot lap here. Raven as well. Is Raven a bit further ahead? I think Raven actually the car directly behind LFC. So we'll stick on board with LFC for the time being. See what he can do here. A lot of drivers coming for outlaps here. We've got 3 minutes left of the session. An outlap here, maybe you're looking at about 1 minute 50 from the pit lane to the checkered flag. So the likes of Stuart, Trix and Matty Clemo are going to have their one chance, and I'll be leaving the pit lane very shortly to start that one chance. LFC puts in a purple sector 2 on the charge. Then let's have a look at his telemetry, see what times he's putting up here. So he's quicker in sector 1, he's quicker in sector 2. He's currently knocked off about 4/10 from his total time. Let's see how his sector 3 fares up, and could this be a potential? No, P3, so not potential pole lap there, but a very good lap indeed. Our next driver across the line will be Ray. He's actually gone back into the pit, maybe leaving his session there in the hope of, what do we see there? So some very close action between some drivers. Matty Clemo is out on track, as is FPS Trix and Stuart as well, all looking to actually set their first time of this this race. Let's see, who have we got? We've got Alpine on an outlap. We've got a Ferrari, I believe it is, is it Torio? Where's Torio? I can't find Torio. There he is. I'm on him. Torio will be our next car to set a time. Then Lordy just retired from the session. Can we get anybody who is close to Lordy's car? Oh, that is nasty. Right in the middle of the track there from Lauder. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. Let's see what Torrio can do as he crosses that line, and looks like he does not see any improvement. We've then got a Haas of Ollie. Again, looks like there's no improvement there. We've got his teammate Bridges about to come down the main straight and actually dives into the pits. We've got the Mercedes then of Trappy. Is it Trappy? No, sorry. Mercedes of Stewart just starting his hot lap. Trying to keep up with these cars here. Alfa Romeos have now both started their hot lap. And there can be a potential tow here for Zach if he plays his cars right. The Williams of Metal Saviour come around the final corner. Williams of Solo did not improve on his time, I don't believe. Metal Saviour goes across the line and again does not improve on his original time. Again, though, still time if they haven't put in their hot lap there to make up for it. I'm going to stay and keep an eye on the surprise guests here. These three at the bottom of our leaderboard currently, as qualifying is now over for P1, P2 and P3, both settling for the current position. Sean is out trying to get another lap in, as is HDL Trappy. Not sure they have time to do that though. LFC retires from the session in the pit lane. Wasn't sure if I'd have enough time to get out of his way, so I left his way. If I left so hung by, fair enough. Would have been P4 so far. Let's see what Stewart can do. Sets a P7 time then. Jump on board with FPS Tricks. He goes, sorry, Matty Clem goes P9. FPS Tricks goes P7. Let's stew down into P8. Next car across the line will be the Williams of Solo, who's gone for another flyer and goes into P3. Next across the line will be the Red Bull of Sean. Puts himself into P3, knocks Solo down a spot. Next up will be the Williams of Saviour, I believe, who does not improve on his time. Next up will be HDL Trappy, who imperative that he gets himself a good start position here as he looks to push closer to Adam's Drivers' Championship. And that looked like a fastest lap there at the end. Let me just confirm if that was. Yes, it was. So HDL Trappy there, stealing the fastest lap right at the depth. I haven't got confirmation of that time. There it is, 1:27.258. So about two and a half tenths quicker than Raven there. But there is your starting grid. HDL Trappy to Raven to Bridges to Sean to Solo, all in the 1:27s. And for some reason, once again, Nico is not muted. He's absolutely shouting the F1 tune at us, and probably going to get us a nice DMCA strike. Thank you for that, Nico. We'll do it very quickly. Just mute the game. There we go. So yeah, our top 5 in the 1:27s, and 6 down from 9 in the 1:28. So very, very quick and similar times here. And let's see what they can do in the main feature. Again, it is Jeddah. A lot can change into the first 2 corners. As we are just waiting for our teams to get ready, let's just look ahead to next week. We'll be racing, not next week, in 2 weeks' time, where we will be racing around the Hungaroring for round 7 of the Bunker League. A beautiful go-kart-like track. Watch our drivers try and tackle. Again, probably similar to this, and I believe Hungary as well will be our second sprint feature. Let me just confirm that. In fact, let's put the team, let's put the calendar as well whilst we are here. So yeah, Hungary Budapest will be a sprint race, as will USA in round 7. So the sprint's now coming quick and fast through the middle of the season. Plenty of opportunity for our drivers to pick up double points in a race week. But we can now return to our formation lap and have a look at how our drivers set up. So HL Trappy again in P1, Raven in P2, Bridges P3 on the medium tyres, Sean also on the medium tyres in P4. Two very good drivers, two drivers that are very close to one another, good friends outside of the racetrack. See how they'll do battling off the line on the second row. Then have Solo and LFC, two drivers who have been battling wheel to wheel ever since the start of this season, and it looks like they're going to provide us with some more entertainment today in the Williams and the Aston Martin respectively. Then have Lordy in the Ferrari, maybe a bit further down than what you would have expected there, starting on the hard tyre. Then a driver that I've noticed so far on the hard tyre, and we'll have a look at tyre strategy in just a moment. FPS Tricks in P8 in the Alfa Romeo, Stewart in the Mercedes in P9, looking to support his teammate and pick up some additional points for the Mercedes as they look to hunt down that Constructor Championship. Matty Clem in the Alfa Romeo, looking like a mid-table team this season. The Alfa Romeo having had two good successful seasons in a row. But again, it can all change. Consistency is key. And again, the Alfa Romeo drivers have been consistent again this season, but not scoring the highest of points so far. Tolvio returning from his race ban, or two race bans, in P11. Looking for, again, maybe some smaller points, maybe some higher points, depending on how the race goes and how the battles go. Rouge Nico in the Alpine in P12. A solo racer today, as Adam has not made it. Ollie in the Haas with his new teammate Bridges, a lot higher up the table, but looking to score some points for the Haas and get them from second in the bottom to hopefully a little bit higher. The Williams of Metal Saviour, and then followed by Kai, who's got the pace, but unfortunately disqualified during the qualifying session. As our drivers start to line up then, and honestly, I don't know where we want to start this one. What driver do we follow? We like following the midfield a little bit more, don't we, from the start? P6 always seems like a safe place. Let's start off with LFC. And let's, before I forget, make sure our input volume is back up so we can hear what is going on. You get 4 lights, 5 lights. And foot down, away we go. HL Trapper getting a very good start, but Raven looking to the inside, does back out that move and actually gets overtaken there from turn 1 by the Haas. So look with the P3, that Raven falling all the way down the grid there. What's happened to Raven? Try and catch his name if we can. Raven, a bit of contact there. Metal Saviour manages to get through without a skirmish, and LFC is taken straight out of this race. And again, we weren't on board with what happened there with LFC. But again, potentially some contact there between him and another driver. Might climb up into P5 and Tricks up into P7. So again, turn 1, what did we say? A lot can happen. But one thing remains the same. HL Trappy is in P1. As you get a yellow flag in turn 1 and turn 2. Metal Saviour gets a 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Rouge Nico. We'll try and take a look if there's any damage there between those two drivers. But at the moment, Sean on the tail. Sorry, Solo on the tail of Sean is actually lost a fair bit of time here to Bridges. Looking a bit further down the table, we've got FPS Tricks who's currently battling alongside Stewart, trying to get past Lordy. Stewart is showing the more of the pace out of these two drivers currently though, taking his corners a lot cleaner than FPS Tricks. We've got Kai up into P10 early on. Looking back, we've got Ollie there who's rejoined the track in a bit of an awkward spot, but there's enough room there for Kai to react. That allows Tolio to get a little bit closer as we get a virtual safety car here on lap 1. Let's just see here, has Nico got any damage? He's got no front wing, so he will be boxing. And Metal Saviour, let's see what's happened there, also lost his front wing, so this virtual safety car will allow some drivers the opportunity to box. Ollie being one of them as well. I can't see his front wing, but I'm going to assume that he's also lost his front wing. as well as FPS Tricks also in the box. Nico has just DNF'd and left the session. So 2 drivers there out of this session immediately, and now P13. Oh, and Stuart retired from the session. 3 drivers. That was under the virtual conditions, and Stuart's car was a little bit further up the road, so we're not going to see what's happened to Stuart there. But that was under either the safety car restart or no, yeah, sorry, it is now a safety car, but he's been upgraded to a full safety car due to that issue with Stuart, whose car is still in the middle of the track. You might be able to see it here. I mean, it's just on the right hand side there, so I'm not sure what happened. Whether he's taken a bit too much curve there on the corner and it's slung him into a wall. I'm not too sure, but Stuart out of the session. So in 2 laps, we've unfortunately lost 3 drivers. There are now only 12 in the race, and it is now upgraded to a full safety car, meaning that everybody can now catch that pack. And if Nico left because he didn't think he'd be able to catch the pack, well, he's now had a bit of a mistake because he is able to catch that pack. Well, I am getting some news through from the pit wall that actually Nico may have had some floor damage, and actually Lordy as well might have some underfloor damage. Let's see how that affects Lordy in this race. I'm not sure where he's picked that up from. It's Lordy, sorry, Torrio has left the session. I wonder if this is me leaving the session again though. Don't think it is. I think it was actually Torrio this time has left the session. I'm sure we'll get an invite from elsewhere. Sean boxes for some hard Torrio, but he has got a penalty against his name. As far as I can point to there, I'm not sure if he's speeding or anything like that. Raven also boxing for the hard tyres there, so trying to get maybe a bit of an undercut on HDL Trappy very, very early on. Potentially, I mean, would you say this is too early to call an undercut? Potentially. Raven, we can't do anything about clips, but so if you've got clips of what's happened, then send them in and we'll see what happens. But as we said before, you can't just call for bans for people. You've got to make sure you do have the clip there, as Raven just gets himself a drive-through penalty. I keep getting the same message here that Raven's getting a drive-through, so I'm not sure whether he's now just ignoring the flags or whether we've got a bit of a glitch going on there. I haven't called a restart, so I'm not sure. Again, we don't really restart for people that crash. I don't know, so. I can't have eyes everywhere, boys. We usually only restart for your connection issues across the board. Speeding on the safety car. Yeah, Raven's got speeding on the safety car 3 times. Oh, Raven's retired. Okay. So HDL Trappy in P1, Bridges in P2, Solo P3, Tono P4, Lordy P5, Torrio P6. Fair enough, Raven, fair enough. Tricks in P7, Ollie in P8. Dawn just be in Stadia and out of pit lane. Within 4 laps now, lost 5 drivers and we're down to 10. As I say, mate, if there are clips of it, then send them in. Because again, we don't want that happening in our division if that is what's happened. And people just clearing out of the drivers so that another driver can win. It's definitely not what we want in the division. So if there are clips, then send them in and we can take action. But again, if there are no clips, then there's, you know, I weren't on board, so I haven't seen it, so. Safety car is coming in this lap. Well, that's all we need clips, Raven, because if that's the case, then again we can take action. But again, I'm fed up with people saying stuff, they're not providing a clip of evidence. You can't kick somebody from a league or give somebody a ban or 10-second penalty without that evidence. So. As I've always said, this is a league that's built around good people and lack of toxicity. And if people are randomly taking people out on track, that is definitely toxic and they will definitely be removed from the league if that is the case. But we can't take action without the evidence. As we get our race restarted and Bridges holds on to P2 as traffic pulls out a very, very gentle lead. Lordy looking to make a move on Torrio, who looks like, again, Lordy looked like he did have floor damage. But again, Raven, we'd rather you race who you're clean than people that are not clean. So even if you don't log it, you send it in to me, at least. And then I can take a look. As Sean moves up to P6, and Torrio down to P7. Kai has left the session, having retired. Sean now making the move back on boarding. Take a look at these two drivers, see what is occurring. Seems to be a bit of a battle going on between the two of them. Lord is now dropping off a little bit from Sean. Let's see, we've got any closer battles on. We've got not saved on Ollie here. Looks like a bit of a close taste battle here. Both drivers on the hard car and deciding to let Ollie come back in front. Ollie looks a bit shaky there on the way out of that corner. We do have Torrio going into the pit lane. Not saving now, still chasing down Ollie into turn 1. It's a bit too hefty on the brakes then. Ollie gets the turn away. Now we look at Sean now chasing down Matty Clem. Sean getting nice while Matty Clem has to turn the brakes on though. Great cautious driving there from Sean. Let's see, we take the right, we take the left. Matty Clem does squeeze, then leaves a car's distance and allows Sean the space to get through front. But will he be on the chase now? Or is Sean going to have too much pace for Clem to keep up? P15 to P6 and through no fault of my own, I can't race. I know, mate, it's frustrating. We'll have to take a look at that clip. So Raven voiced some displeasure as well over some of the driving standards this week. So again, any clips that anyone does have, anything, again, we want to see them. Lordy now changing that, mate. Clem is going really swerve and swerve, leaving just enough room there for Lordy. But both drivers are looking a bit wily here, and FPS Tricks in the background as well. Jump on board with him as Lordy looks to go around the outside, and Tricks looks to go through the inside, and with 3 cars down the main straight, and it gets a little bit narrower here, and FPS Tricks seems to have made a move, but can Lordy or Matty Clem have an answer into the first corner? So Matty Clem gets ahead of all drivers. Sorry, FPS Trade is ahead of all drivers there. Lordy in the middle and Matty Clem It's now lost out 2 positions, but let's see. In fact, 3 positions in that particular lap. But let's see, a battle of survival in Jeddah, as we have already seen, with a lot of our drivers being dropped out of position. Solo gets a overtake into P2. But I was rooting for you, Kai. You had a great start after what was a good qualifying and a poor qualifying due to the disqualification. Yeah, an unfortunate one. You see Metal Saber here now back behind Ollie. Get our closest battle currently on the track is the battle for P8. Let's see Saber come out his move. Over there, cutting the corner. We've definitely got a warning for that. Still pulls out more time on Saviour. By doing so, as Lordy gets himself into the catchment zone for DRS here on FPS Tricks. Will that rear wing open? Yes, it will. It's a bit far back here. And yeah, very far back. He's not going to make a move, but he will be able to pull closer and hopefully keep that DRS activation distance from FPS Tricks. And in fact, he's gaining closer and closer, and he hits the wall there. It looks like it's potentially a bit of a wheel bang. Let's see. No, Lordy has got some front wing damage there. You can see he is slowing down. This might allow Matty Clem, FPS Tricks' teammate, to jump in and steal that position. So we'll watch this here as Lordy is on a bit of a go slow lap and Clem on a go faster lap. He's pulled 2 tenths in one corner, 4 tenths in another corner. Let's see what Matty Clem can do here against a driver who is being crippled by a bit of front wing damage when trying to attack the Alfa Romeo teammate. He's dropped back again to Metal Savior, who's very close on the back of Ollie. With DRS, actually puts his foot on the brake there and doesn't reactivate DRS. But Ollie goes wide and off track and nearly causes an incident there. Luckily, Metal Savior was well aware of the situation, manages to make a move. Matty Clem does get past Lordy. Lordy doesn't fight it too much. I think he's aware of what's about to happen. I think Lordy's about to jump into the pit, get that front wing removed. Yes, he is. Again, Jeddah is one of those tracks that's very difficult to drive around if you've got parts, if your car missing. On board now with Solo, dropping back a bit here from a HDL crappie. She goes straight on there on the curve, catches the body of that car, the underbody of his car on the curve, went straight on there, so losing even more time. That might be able to bring in Bridges and Sean, who's actually got DRS here, or not DRS, but within a second of the car ahead. Bridges, and I think that might be the only car that, hold on a moment, just said Ollie went up a space. What's happened here? Matty Clem had a tumble. No, he hasn't. He managed to get past Metal Save is what's happened. Save now dropped off. Oh, and Bridges there on a bit of a spin. That's going to be costly. He's going to lose a few positions here. Luckily, his car is ghosted. Oh, that's going to be rear wing. That's going to be rear wing damage. I am almost certain that that's going to be rear wing damage there for the Haas. Though it doesn't look like it. I can't see rear wing damage on the system. So maybe a bit of decent there between the commentator and the driver. Hopefully that rear wing and diffuser is still intact and Bridges can try and make another run up the table later on in the session. 2 Ferraris then sitting dead bottom at the moment in just a minor points as Haas driver going a bit slowly there. Got a yellow flag for them. I'm not sure what happened there. But actually Haas up into P6 there with Ollie as Torrio gets past Bridges. I'm not sure what kind of damage Bridges is carrying. Maybe that's limiting his current ability. So he's got a bit of snap there of oversteer. He does dive into the pit lane now and hopefully he makes the pit corner. He does. Just brings Lordy back in. maybe to some potential higher points than just the bottom, as you can overtake Bridges here. Still 7 seconds away from Torrio though. Metal Saber still chasing down nicely on Ollie. So really, it looks like 10 laps in, and the race has probably gone a little bit flat here because we have lost, well, Raven, LFC were all gunning to be drivers that would be taking HDL Trappy to that checkered flag and trying to steal that P1 from him. Kai and Stewart, who may be a little bit lower down than we would have liked, chasing up through the grid again. We could have seen some nice battles and overtakes between those drivers. Nico, similarly, sometimes he has bad weeks, sometimes he has good weeks. He was looking pretty decent in qualifying, and his race pace as well could have been decent, but we never got enough time to see whether that would be the case. So potentially race going a little bit flat here. Just Metal Savior and Ollie currently in a major kind of key battle. We'll keep an eye on Sean as he approaches solo. Rate of knock. One thing I had noticed there, I just looked away, is Ollie's jumped into the pit lane. Whether that's a scheduled pit stop, or whether that is through damage, I'm not too sure. But he has now dropped back. So even the only battle that we currently had on track has now been diluted. So what we'll do, we'll jump on to Sean, who's just, I believe, pulled 4/10 on solo. And we'll watch as this imminent battle is about to occur, I think, as Sean gets his foot down on those medium tyres. He, along with Raven, I believe, did box fairly early on in this race at the attempt of an undercut during that safety car period. So potentially on some fresher tyres than our current front runners. No pressure on Sean. FPS Tricks is a cool 7 seconds behind. So all he needs to focus on is that car ahead of him. You see he's burned all of his ERS trying to get there as that red light is flashing on the back of that vehicle. Sean going a bit wide there, possibly going over the track limits. Got a yellow flag here for, I believe, Ollie in the Haas, and Sean gets a 3-second time penalty, but does bring himself closer to solo. That Haas has started moving again. Not sure why the yellow flag was so far in front of the Haas. In fact, it could have been Bridges. In fact, not even there. In fact, it's Bridges, not Ollie. So again, maybe carrying some rear wing damage, or just still a bit rusty as Sean breaks into that DRS range. And let's watch this battle unfold. And you hear nothing but that Red Bull engine. A pit lane retirement there for Bridges as Shaw makes a fantastic run down the outside of solo. Lucky you had a bit of a lock up there, or a potential touch from solo. Let's see if Sean can catch up. HDL Trappers on into the pit lane. I didn't cop that as we were going down that straightaway there, but Sean now has pulled, well, so solo managed to pull 1.4 seconds. I'm sure Sean will have the ability to catch back up in no time again. It's HDL Trappy just fall down that grid. And Sean is there back in the 1 second mark as we approach our first DRS activation point. at 13. Then unlucky for some, can it be lucky for Sean? And can he break himself into P1 of this race? Again, no pressure behind Matty Clem, 17 seconds away. After it looks like FPF and bots have now got a 3-second time penalty. Sean looking to make this move where there can be no response. All across to the right hand side again. Gets right across Solo there. Then has he got the ERS on the straight to defend him? We've got a safety car, and Sean pulls perfectly into the pit lane, followed by Solo. That's going to be an absolutely fantastic pit stop and great decision there from Sean in the Red Bull, because if he is quick about it, HDL Trappy had just pitted. Let's jump on board with HDL Trappy and see whether or not he'll be able to get out and around that corner. It's taking a minute. Sean is behind Trappy, and I think Trappy has got in front there, but still Sean making a great moves there, making great waves up the track, managing to actually now sit in behind HDL Trappy with slightly fresher tyres, and in fact tyres that will take Sean to the end of this race comfortably. Trappy's tyre was taken to the end of the race. Not sure if it would be comfortable. A few more of our drivers are boxing here. Lordy and Ollie in the pit. We'll give a chance for all drivers now to get back up to speed, get back in the fight, and hopefully this will spice up our race again this evening. This Metal Saviour up into P4 here with his teammate Solo in P3. Is Metal Saviour cooking up an absolute storm, or has he stayed out and maybe limited his chances here? Yeah, but on 12 lap old soft. Saviour, if you can hear me, jump into that pit lane if you can. Keep yourself close when the safety car goes back in. Looking at stops, then Sean's making 3 stops. Something I do remember from Sean and his race with the bunker. He always seems to stop more than other people, but he times them stops very well, as he has done this one here. It usually leaves him quite high at the top of that table. Matty Clem, Solo, Saviour, Trappy, all currently on 1 stops. The rest of our drivers on 2 stops. And in fact, no, Ollie also on a 3 stop there at the back of the grid. So we'll look at penalties then, shall we? 3 seconds for Sean, 3 seconds for Trips, so not too much going wrong there. As Metal Saviour does now dive into the pit. So let's suspect to see a set of medium strapped on here. So 10 laps on the mediums for Saviour. Majority, well, all of our drivers now on fairly fresh tyres. Trappy and Sean's tyres are 2 laps old. Tricks with 2 laps old, and everybody else will be on 1 or 0 lap old tyres. Come they cross that finish line. And Ollie jumps back into the pit again and picks himself a penalty. So he's gone into the pit lane, decided to give himself a penalty. And I'm not sure what he's going to do with his tyre strategy. He's decided to try and do 10 laps on the softs here around Jeddah. I'm not sure how that's going to go for him. He had to change his front wings. Maybe that's why he's gone in for softs. I've already burnt up his 2 medium sets already and a hard set. Going to try and go for pace, see how far he can get up that table. So off the safety car restart, then I think I'm keen to see this battle between our front 3 here. I think we've got 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Ferraris, so I would hope to be fairly conservative against each other and not push each other too hard. Obviously, respectively, the 2 teams will push each other hard, but hopefully the 2 teammates won't push each other as hard. Metal Saviour and Ollie's had a constant battle throughout this session. Again, we're usually quite careful through turn 1. I want to have a look at these front 3, see what they do throughout turn 1. For the time being, let's take a look at Torio returning from his race ban. Here currently sat in P6 after qualifying, I believe it's P11. Again, we have had multiple drivers forcibly or DNF due to how they felt the race was going. Again, that's something we like to see. I can understand frustration sometimes when things don't go your way early on. Maybe pick up damage you'll have to keep for the rest of the race. So one more lap under safety car then, maybe allowing for Ollie to catch the safety car before we get released. As long as Ollie doesn't go back into the pit lane. And he has gone back into the pit lane. Of course he got back into the pit lane. To serve that 5-second penalty. It's not a bad shout at all. Get rid of that 5-second penalty. Get those medium tyres back on. And then put your foot down and make sure you're at the back of that pack by the time the safety car restarts. There it is, serving that 5-second penalty. And away we go. As our drivers make their way into, or towards at least, sector 2. So Ollie's about one sector down here. Let's see what kind of pace you've got then on this mini time trial. Can you get yourself back behind the pack? Right, about 25%, maybe 33% of the way through the circuit. Can Ollie catch up here? He's actually looking pretty speedy, if I'm honest, through these corners. On these medium tyres that have potentially got one lap of wear in them. Let's have a very quick look here at those tyres. Yeah, just a one lap of wear in, so they will be fresh, they'll be good. Strong tyre, and Ollie should catch up here before we go green. So a fairly calculated move there from Ollie, who again is fairly new to F1 24. And an Ollie from round 1 probably wouldn't have made that decision to box and get rid of that 5-second penalty, and box to get rid of that front wing as well. But Ollie now catching up to the pack very quickly and just about hitting the brakes, I think, there. So safety car will be in this lap then as our drivers make their final tyre preparation, and that grid gets slowed down by HDL Trappy to allow the safety car to enter the pit lane. See there, safety car just entering the pit lane and now over the safety car line. Now it's all on HDL Trappy, and when he wants to put his foot down, Sean slightly misjudged that there. He went quick and the other driver behind followed, but HDL Trappy has now gone for it. And Solo's made a move there on Sean early, but Sean gets that position back as you go into turn 1. Sean gets a position. I think the only position there that's changed is Ollie up one spot. And as you thought, the 4 drivers. Ooh, my. Sorry, FPS Trick's going a bit wide there. Into turn 3, I believe it was. And Solo going off track there as well. So some drivers here making some minor mistakes. Solo is on a soft tyre, actually. Failed to recognise that a little bit earlier on. And Sean makes a move into the lead there on HDL Trappy. HDL Trappy taking the inside line. Can't return the favour. So Sean keeps himself ahead for the time being. Fantastic driving as always from Sean. But I thought HDL Trappy might just have that front, sorry, that straight line speed. Sean holding him there quite nicely. So our front 4 then still remaining fairly close on this kind of restart lap. Matty Clem P5 has fallen back a little bit, but again, he might not be using as much ERS at the moment. He might choose to save that ERS for a little bit later on. Let's see what happens here into turn one. Solo following Trappy very closely as Sean sets a new fastest lap of the race. Without DRS, very good lap there from Sean. Matty Clem has fallen down a place at Torio, but again, remains close to him. Right, Cameron Andrews is there going through the streets of Jeddah. HDL Trappy chasing down Sean. With Sean actually pulling out a very nice gap at the moment. FPS Tricks looking to get in on the action here against Solo. But in fact, Torio looking more likely to get past Tricks at the moment. HDL Trappy now right on the gearbox of Sean. On the medium tyres, both guys at the same age. But for the time being, HDL Trappy should be wearing the faster of those tyres. He tries to get this move back into P1. Solo currently dropped behind by a second as he already now gets past Matty Clem, who's not having a fantastic race here around Jeddah. However, he is up into P7, which will be a bonus for the Alfa Romeo team. HDL Trappy now sets the fastest lap of this race, and what's he going to do into turn one? Look to the inside. Can't make that move though. Solo does pull himself back closer towards the lead of the game. And FPS Tricks getting the hammer down as well here. Yeah, maybe not the best of starts this race, but he has really pulled his finger out in this final stint that we're looking at here. And Ollie gets a 3-second time penalty for track infringements or track limit infringements. Sean manages to pull out a bit of a gap again from HDL Trappy behind. It's thrilling to watch here. Sean keeps dancing around this track and managing to actually stay ahead during the DRS straights and then pull away outside of those DRS straights, using maybe a bit more downforce in his setup rather than straight line speed, giving that quality through the corners on these hard tyres as you go down now the main straight. And Sean's still looking strong there in a straight line still, but then taking all of his corners with just so much more composure. Drive behind, maybe diving in at corners, maybe overthinking, trying to get an overtake rather than just following the car ahead. But either way, Sean is a fantastic drive at the moment, evading the two cars behind, frustrating the two cars behind. Zach now has fallen out of favour, now 2 seconds behind Solo, with Torio right behind him. If Matty Clem picks up his 3-second penalty, or picks up a 3-second penalty. Take a look here at Torio trying to chase down Zach then. The two Ferraris currently, as a constructor, looking to be in better positions than the Alfa Romeo, if my math serves me right, which it probably doesn't. Let's see then now as HDL Trappy does pull a little bit closer to Sean and actually gets an overtake there. And there might have been a little bit of contact, but it was all above board, I think. And Trappy does eventually make that move on Sean. Sean now looking for a reply. Will he have DRS here? He does get that rear wing open. And can he make a move back? No, he can't. Not just yet. It's now him in P2, Solo in P3, as Trappy retakes the lead of this race. And a bit further down, we've got Zach going into the pits. Pit lane. There is a front wing there that they're looking to change as Sean falls out to that 1 second marker and then quickly back into that 1 second marker again. I think he's running a bit more of a tidier downforce or a lower downforce to keep himself tidy in those corners. Lordy looking to make a move on his teammate Torrio here. Within 3/10 of Torrio. We'll try and flip back to him after this DRS activation point for our front three. See if Lordy can make that move on his teammate, or if he's just going to sit behind his teammate. Beautiful driving here from Sean. As Trappy does begin to pull away though. Well, nearly 2 seconds on Sean after potentially struggling to, well, not stay with him, but struggling to get the overtake earlier on. Sean round the final corner there, turn 27 of 27. She's looking to dip. Oh no, I thought he was going to dip into the pits there, but he does take that very wide. If that was real F1, and he's trying to cut the pit lane entrance like that, it would have been a penalty. And he does pick up a penalty anyway through turn 1. And Lordy does get past Torrio, or at least side by side with his teammate there. Actually, Torrio then ends up ahead of him. So a bit of a battle here between the two Ferrari drivers. And Matty Clem now maybe finding a little bit more pace in his tyres. Also looking to get within a second of these drivers. Let's see what Lordy can do. We'll drop back here and see if Sean can make a move here, because he's still very close to Solo. Oh. In fact, he does drop back a little bit there. And Lordy did make that move on Torrio again. This time I think he's holding it a bit nicer, although Torrio is fighting back at his teammate and not allowing him to keep that place. Torrio looking for a bit of vengeance here, I think, after having that race ban. And Matty Clem with DRS here against the two fighting teammates. Both drivers managing to block Matty Clem off though. And Lordy this time with strong DRS and a strong position on track, get past his teammate. Down the inside he takes it, gets himself ahead. Matty Clem as well, down the inside here. Matty Clem have to back out a little bit. Oh, bit of contact there between Clem and Torrio's. Then pushing wide, and Solo is now retired from this section. Where has that happened? Oh, some contact there between Clemo and Torrio. I'm not sure who ends up the worse off there. Clemo's car looks to be pretty clean. Torrio's as well. There's definitely some debris flying there, unless that was the debris of Solo's car. Let's take a look here. Can't see there's any issues with the drivers currently on track. We are now down just to the 8 drivers, unfortunately, from what started as 15. And Sean now up into P2. So again, I think this race towards the end of it has turned into a bit more of a procession as Matty Clem goes into the pit. Just haven't been watching Matty Clem there for the moment, so I'm not too sure what the purpose of that was. Maybe it was his front wing that was damaged and he wanted to make sure he at least finished this race. But again, the Ferrari looking to score very good points between both drivers. As long as nothing silly happens on the final lap and a half. Sean looks like a man who will not be able to get past HDL Trappy. I'm not sure actually how many penalties he had. Let's have a quick look at that. Is it 2 penalties? Yeah, so 6 seconds. Actually, Lordy could sneak in on his 6 seconds. And actually, he could end up on the second step of that podium. And he probably would have ended up on the second step of that podium had he been able to make that move quicker against his teammates. So again, an example there is if your teammate's a little bit quicker than you behind, sometimes it's best to let them through. See where they end up. It could have been fantastic team play there from Torrio. But at the moment, it looks like he potentially slowed down his teammate by making that move, or being so defensive in that move. Again, both drivers could have just gave each other a little DRS boost in the particular zones. Torrio there driving off track and losing some time to Lordy, but Lordy is got that foot down. He's determined. One final lap. He needs to lose 7 thousandths of a second, 4 thousandths of a second, 1/10 now. He's shot back up. Lordy could potentially be in a shot of P2 here. It's probably the most exciting thing on track at the moment is watching whether or not Lordy will get that second place position. What I'm going to do is we are going to leave that up to mystery. We're going to watch nothing else but Lordy going through the final sector. Our race winner today is HDL Trappy. He did have some trouble with Sean. He had some trouble with some other drivers early on as well, but in the end, he managed to have a strong performance and get himself into P1. Sean finishes second for the time being. Will we see Lordy's name in that second position, or will it stay as Sean? Will stay as Sean by 0.2 of a second, followed by Torrio. Ollie will then be our next car across the line in the Haas, followed by Metal Saviour. Again, Metal Saviour could pick up some more points there based on penalties. No, he can't. Yes, Strix wiggles his way across the line, and Matty Clem, our final driver there, has to pit there towards the end of the race. Now bringing it across the line. So there we have it then, our race around Jeddah. It took a lot of drivers out, probably more than I expected, and unfortunately there's a lot of drivers early on who potentially got some more damage and then didn't, weren't able to finish the race in the end. But there we have it, HDL Trappy P1, Sean in P2, Lordy in P3. We'll see the rest of our grid in just a moment's time. Of course, as always, if you do have any clips of incidents, please send them in so our stewards can take a look. Again, if they are more serious incidents, we can take further action if needed, away from just our usual penalty system for causing collisions, causing damage, etc. But there we have it then, our top 8 for this week. Trappy, Sean, Lordy, Torrio, Ollie, Metal Saviour, FPS Tricks there with the fastest lap as well at the end. Matty Clem very close to that fastest lap in P8, his teammate, and that is your final standings for this week. Looking ahead again to next week, we are heading to Hungary for another sprint event. Again, make sure you come through. Not next Friday, because you are taking a week off. It was a Friday afterwards, which let's just get the date. There we go. It'll be Friday the 5th of April for our next race in Hungary. Until then, enjoy your week off, racers. I'll be enjoying my week off. And we'll see you back in April in Hungary.